Hello, SeptaSOAREous.
I'm Septa.
I'm Soar, and this is us. And today we're checking out BTS Wings short film 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna finish them up. Wow.
You gonna finishing them up?
We're gonna finish them up today.
Yes.
So we checked out 1 through 4 previously in 2 different videos, and it just felt weird to only do 2 this time and then 1 the next time, so we just crammed them all in.
Yeah.
We figured you guys wouldn't mind.
Right.
But we want to continue our journey through the BU, and I want to see the stories for all the other characters.
Yes. So
does Marlo.
Yeah, Marlo does too. If you hear any groaning, that's her. I don't know. We should have named her Miss Piggy, but we named her Marlo, so missed opportunity there.
It really, really is.
But we're going to start with film number 5, Reflection.
Yes. I don't know whose this is.
I think this one was RM.
Is it?
I think. I could be wrong.
We'll
find see.
Out.
Bloop.
The other realm, however, overlapping half our house, was completely different. A loud mixture of horrendous, intriguing, frightful, mysterious things, including slaughterhouses and prisons, junkyards and screeching fishwives, calving cows, horses sinking to their death, tales of robberies, murders, and suicides.
Okay.
You were right. Okay, and that has Raven, which ties back to Jungkook.
Nice. Self-inkage. He's doing really good at it.
I know. Dang.
Oh, that's really cool.
Don't answer that.
No, don't do it.
I was so good on myself. I was so good on myself. I was so good on myself.
War.
I was so good on myself.
That was
It's Liar.
Liar.
It did look like war for a second. Bloop. So satisfying when they do that.
Did he lie to Jungkook? His character.
I know. I wonder what the lie would be about though, because I don't know fully what Jungkook's storyline even is.
I don't either.
So what would the lie be?
I don't know. But having the telephone there ringing and being unable to answer it, it makes me feel like, I don't know if this is on the right track at all, but Jungkook, tortured artist, depressed,
Yeah.
needed to make that phone call for help in a weak moment, called him, he didn't answer it, curtains, and he's tortured with the fact that he didn't answer that call.
Yeah, and then I guess if you were trying to link it back to JK's, he also had like the painting of himself.
Mhm.
And when RM was like unconscious or whatever was going on, and it was like filling up his arm with like the sleeve, it was using similar colors to like what was on the canvas for like his art too.
Yeah, and it was like bleeding up his arm instead
Yeah.
of bleeding down the canvas.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good theory. I can't really think of what else it would be.
Okay.
And then like him seeing his reflections, maybe just like disgusted with himself, you know, he just doesn't like it. He's like, ugh, I can't believe I did that. Like,
Yeah, and then if it says liar, maybe he promised he'd always be there, but he didn't answer the phone that day.
yeah,
So it's not
causing
like
inner turmoil.
it's not one of those outward lies. Like it wasn't like an intentional
He wasn't
lie.
really trying to. And he's like, maybe he was going through his own stuff
Yeah.
and he just wasn't able to.
Well, and he was drinking something,
Yeah.
so maybe he was passed out.
Right. Yeah. Maybe he let his,
His own self-indulgence and demons.
yeah, he was like abusing alcohol, maybe, or maybe it's supposed to be just drugs or whatever, abusing something, which was taking him out of being in the moment. From what I've heard from like addicts and stuff, is like whenever you get addicted to it, or however long that you're addicted to it, that is like a blink.
Yeah.
It's like you get addicted to it and blink all of a sudden like 10 years later because you don't remember it. You're just so
You get
intoxicated and stuff
consumed by it.
constantly.
Yeah, it's like a blip.
Right.
You have a weak moment, cave, and blip.
Yep.
And the next thing you know, you wake up and your friend is gone. And their
Right.
last call was to you because they needed help.
Right.
I
Yeah.
could see having problems looking at your own reflection after that.
I would feel horrible. I would feel so awful. Yeah, 100%. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's our theory.
Let's check out the next one, though.
With a face that resembled her son's, timeless, ageless, and full of inner strength, the beautiful woman smiled with dignity. Her gaze was fulfillment, her greeting a homecoming. Silently, I stretched my hands out to her.
Padded room.
No, thank you. Ugh.
Pills. That looks so cool.
I know.
Ugh. How they look all black now. Okay, the painting
Okay.
from Jimin.
They in like the same facility. Nice.
Sneakers.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
his character was the one that like OD'd on the bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously his is like the continuing struggles with like addiction, specifically to pills. It looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're trying to get at this, but like I found it a little bit ironic that people do struggle with these things, and then in order to make them, come out of it or feel better, it's different pills. Like you become reliant on a different kind of drug. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's saying that in this. I just was randomly thinking that while watching it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like really ironic because like, of course, they're like, let's make him better. So put him into the psych ward and then we're going to give him these pills instead. And I was just like, that's so weird to think about, actually. I never really thought about that, but that's kind of how it works.
Yeah. I have an addiction to pills, so I got sent to a facility. And they gave me more pills.
Yeah, exactly.
Different pills, but more pills.
And like, I felt like it was like he's in the same area, at least, as Jimin.
I would agree.
The painting, right? And like Jimin, It seemed like he was in like a facility as well. So like there's like that link there. They're kind of in the same spot.
Yes, I feel like they're in different wards. It seems like he's on like super lockdown in the padded room.
Yeah.
And then Jimin was just in like a sterile room, but still a room with like a fairly normal bed.
Mm-hmm. And like there's like the relation with like the feathers, because of course Jimin, he was like emptying the pillowcase basically, and then in this there's like the random shots with like some feathers for J-Hope as well.
And I think in another previous video it showed them having a pillow fight.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
Yes. So I would agree. I think they're in the same facility, different kinds of problems.
Yeah.
I feel like Jimin's is more like depression and anxiety,
and then like J-Hope's is addiction. And I don't know, again, I'm not really sure, but the way that they had like all the neon colors and stuff, it looked like he had thrown up everywhere. The way they had the green all over the floor, I imagined it like he did just a ton of drugs and then just threw it all up. And then like the way that because like it was like he took the pill and then all of a sudden everything's just right. So it's like when he takes the pill, everything is good and he's having fun and it's amazing. It's
bright and colorful
and then,
interesting.
Like, it looked like it was like kind of just vomit all over the floor. And then he was like waking up. And then it made me think of like when you have a hangover and you wake up and everything's just like kind of just like a weird deafening, your mind's kind of going crazy because you're like, what's going on?
The quiet is too loud.
Right. It gave me that feeling. And then like him like walking out,
Yeah, everything's too bright.
Yeah.
And maybe I didn't think of it that way, but I do like that take that it was actually puke, but they made it all colorful.
Yeah, that's
because there was some on his arm still.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you are struggling with addiction and if they're like slowly weaning you off of what you have been addicted to, which could be what was happening.
Yeah.
You're going to go into withdrawals and you're going to puke.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's going to be real.
It's going to be
rough.
real rough.
Yeah. And maybe
that's what they were depicting there.
Right.
Too.
Maybe that's what it was. And then at the end, him looking at the painting was like, I'm clean and free now. Like I'm heading towards like a better aspect of my life, a better time in my life or something. And that's what the painting was trying to resemble.
But it was still just a painting. And then it changed.
Yeah, because that one's Mama, right?
Yeah, and it looked like a painting of a mother holding her child.
Yeah, so maybe his is also like, maybe he's addicted because of his lack of parents or something. Like maybe he just doesn't feel loved or wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to resemble that.
Maybe just like always wanted mom's affection, or maybe mom passed away.
Exactly, yeah.
And now can never get that. Interesting.
The bird fights its way out of the egg. The egg is the world. Who would be born must first destroy a world. The bird flies to God. That God's name is Abraxas.
Some pretty piano.
Another apple.
믿는 게 아냐 버텨보는 거야 할 수 있는 게 다 이것뿐이라서 머물고 싶어
I got so many goosebumps.
더 꿈꾸고 싶어 그래도 말야 떠날 때가 된
Picture.
Yeah, it's my truth. It's my truth. 온통 상처투성이겠지. But it's my faith. It's my faith. 그래도 발버둥 치고 싶어. Maybe I can never fly. 저기저 꽃잎들처럼 날개 단 것처럼 난 안 돼. Maybe I
The pictures.
can touch the sky. 그래도 손 뻗고 싶어 달려보고 싶어 조금 더.
Okay. So he had elements of everybody's story
Yeah.
in his.
Yeah.
So is everybody just like a fragmented part of his mind?
I don't know, because that's what I keep thinking. Like the way that everything's been kind of playing out. It all links back to him like every single time.
Yeah.
And like it's like all these like minor little stories, but for him it's always like the bigger picture. So yeah, maybe it's like maybe he's in like a psych ward himself, and these are all like aspects of his like multiple personalities or something, you know?
Well, and it didn't look like a psych ward. It just looked like he has a wealthy family that keeps him trapped.
And doesn't, well, and then if that is the case, right, like, then the mama one is like,
I just want my mom to love me, but she
pay attention to him at all, you know?
Yeah.
But if they're too rich and they're just, well, we hire a nanny to take care of him, or maybe not even that, just
stay in your room and behave.
Right. Maybe it's something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
But that would only explain that one to me. I don't know if, I don't know, like maybe he's like relying on drugs and stuff to
as an escape.
Numb his pain, exactly, and escape and stuff like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then the picture of the bird on the wall, the piano was in his room.
Yep.
And then the bed looked like the one that Jimin had, and then the apple.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the scratch marks on the door were supposed to be drawing a correlation to Hobie's and him trying to get out, and the colorful marks all over the walls and stuff. I think it was drawing a parallel with that. And then him with his reflection was obviously the callback to RM.
Yeah. How does it relate to V?
Maybe it's from a wealthy family. The mom has bad taste in men. So that all still happened to protect a sibling. And then the family couldn't handle the disgrace of him going to jail due to that. So they sent him away and told him to be invisible. Yeah, so in a way, he's a prisoner.
Yeah, and there are times, too, where when something insanely traumatic happens, it can, like, trigger, like, a multiple personality thing.
Yeah,
where
fragments.
Each personality will, like, this one deals with confrontation. This one deals with, like, your child's side. This one, like, deals with all these different aspects of you in different ways. So I wonder if it's like, what if V's, like, that experience was like the traumatic thing that just really just bloop, just fragmented everything.
Yeah.
You know, and this is him trying to pick up the pieces and figure out what is going on, kind of, you know, within himself.
Yeah. And then I wanted to talk about like the very beginning where he was taking the picture.
And the candles went out and stuff?
Yes. So I feel like it was just referencing the fact that you have to savor a moment while it's there because it's gone before you know it.
Yeah.
And then it also happened with the light. His time in the light was done and he was in the shadows. I feel like it's all his story.
I do too. I was getting that feeling because even in like the last videos, well, I don't even remember what was it. Run? Was that one of them?
Run was one of them.
Run, and then I Need You. Was that part of it too?
Yes.
So like when we were watching like Run and I Need You, it seemed even then that it was like very much Jin, and then something was going on with him, because of course it was like he was taking the pictures of them on the truck and stuff, and all of a sudden they weren't there anymore in the photos, you know? So
Yeah.
even then I was like, are these figments of his imagination? Is this what he's just wishing was happening? Or like now, I don't know, are those like aspects of his personality that he imagines all together
As his friends.
and once you get them together, like that's when he feels like happy and complete? But then like when they're not together, it's all this just disarray and
chaos, because each of them is like an important aspect of him.
right.
Yeah, I can see that. And it's like his main personality can't handle anything other than observing. So
Doesn't want to be part of any of it.
Yes.
The like all the other pieces of him is what handles that.
Yes.
And he's just there to watch. He's the observer.
Yes. So like he's sitting in the back seat of his brain and watching
all this unfold.
All of them do all of the things that are necessary in order to survive and get things done, and then try to do things that are fun and crazy to get like an adrenaline rush and
To
have
feel
a good time, to
something or
try and feel
whatever.
anything. Yeah. And he's sitting back and taking snapshots
Right.
of those.
The camera is not, I don't think it's actual snapshot, like actual pictures. It's memories. Yep, that's how I feel.
They did so good with those.
They did. It's really fun to try to figure out what's going on with that.
Yes. And shout out to our hero, Tina.
Yes.
Who sent us the link to the one that had English subtitles.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sorry we didn't have that for all of them, but still very fun to watch those and see what's going on. Try to figure out what they're trying to tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing. Maybe even hitting that bell. We have a BTS playlist if you want to check that out. We also react to live BTS content over on our Patreon for our top tier patrons if you're interested in that. And we have a new channel called SeptaSOAREous where we talk about whatever we want. The link is in the description below. Until next time.
Always remember that we love you.
Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, SeptaSOAREous.
Bye.